And Mr. Zimmer, 5 minutes.
Let's change channels. Thank you, Minister. And I do appreciate that you went out to the Wet'suwet'en community. It's my neighbor to the west of my riding. I guess I share the concerns with my colleague, Mr. Schmale, about you talked about exploiting divisions as if it was somebody else other than what you're doing. And you talking about open and honest. I think, Minister Miller, that's what you had said. You wanted these discussions to be that way. Are you aware who elects the elected chiefs and council of the Wet'suwet'en community?
Am I aware
of who elects the elected chiefs of the Wet'suwet'en communities?
the reserve lands, the reserve lands,
community,
the
yes.
reserve lands, and the reserve population elect the chiefs. Yes.
Yeah. Of which, do you know that the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs are part of that community?
My understanding, and from the Supreme Court decision, is that the hereditary chiefs are that there is the conversation now about title of the whole community,
Let me just say what Gary
the reserve
Let me just
lands.
say what Gary Naziel, who's the wing chief of the Wet'suwet'en community, he said to us, which we met with them in Prince George 3 weeks ago now. He said the elected chiefs are actually elected by the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs as well. They are a true representative of the Wet'suwet'en community, hereditary and community members. Were you aware of that?
Absolutely, and that's why now their hereditary chiefs will go back to their clans and their houses.
My next question,
and the elected
I gotta go through
chiefs.
these quick.
No,
so
wait a second.
My next question.
No, you did ask a question.
I think, and you should, respectfully
So
should let her
I
answer.
hope you give me more time, Chair.
So I'm going to tell you that they will now go back to their clans and their houses, and all members of the nation will determine and ratify this proposal.
So Chief Dan George, who is one of the elected chiefs by the community, has been trying to get a meeting with you, and even wanted to be part of the discussions when you just met with them a few days ago, and said they were shut out of the meeting. Why?
Well, I am not aware of that. I'd be happy to meet with Chief Dan George anytime.
Okay, because I'm glad you said that too, because I heard it earlier. I just spoke with Chief Dan George and all the elected chiefs that are supportive of the project, and they said they've been trying to get a meeting with you and they haven't been able to. And they feel very frustrated. They want to have this. Actually, you know, the bigger frustration for the elected chiefs, and I'd say the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs that support the project, they want to have a community discussion about the issue.
Yeah.
And when you go into the community and you only pick a very select few to talk to, just the ones who are opposed to the project, they are very frustrated. The hereditary chiefs are very frustrated that support the project, of which we have one in the room with us today. Teresa Tate Day is just at the back of the room. There's a frustration that you're only wanting one result by only meeting that particular group. And even some of the ones that you met are chiefs under suspect circumstances. Chief Woos is one example. And so the ones that you're meeting with are under a little bit, have questionable circumstances. And so the legitimate Wet'suwet'en chiefs that want to meet with you are questioning whether they should be at the same table because it legitimizes somebody that maybe isn't. And I guess to me, as somebody that as the minister should know all of these concerns in the community, be very careful who you meet with when you go into that community. If your true desire is really to bring the community together, as you said, and not create division, exploiting divisions, and not and being open and honest, that you would have everybody at the meeting. Why would you exclude anybody from the community that are leaders in the community from the meeting?
So I think that you misunderstand that there are two separate conversations. I wasn't there to talk about a pipeline. I was there to talk about rights and title. The rights and title conversation will happen in the clans and the houses, and everybody will be there to ratify it, and I will go back and see if they have agreed to that, then I will be meeting with everybody.
Well, that's even a bigger problem then, because if you're not talking about Coastal GasLink, I talked to the elected chiefs too. They were troubled. Just hold on,
Bob. It's a BC project, right? It's a BC project.
The problem with it is though, if you're going out under the circumstances where you're supposed to be bringing the blockades down and having this discussion, because it's all around the project, right? It's all around this Coastal GasLink project. That you're going to go out there and help somehow bring peace to the situation, and you're not even talking about the very issue that's got the roadblocks up. I think that's
Okay, we
even
need
more
a brief
problematic.
answer. Brief answer,
Yeah,
please,
the brief
Minister.
answer is that rights and title is the reason I'm there is for a durable solution so this never happens again. That the rights holders will be at the table with lots of choices at the beginning of a project. That's what C-69 is, it's what UNDRIP is, and it's the way we will go when we have settled the rights and title of the wet zone.